Lisa's behind the camera, I'm in front of the camera today, and I am going to teach you today how to make something similar to this. I'm going to do one a little bit different. Since you have this one, I want to show you a different option, kind of a different version of this, but basically we're going to make a fence and put some pumpkins on it and some logs and tree branches and see what we come up with, okay? So let me get this one out of our way. So first things first, guys, we need a background. We need the fence. So I have these craft sticks that I got at Walmart. These are the really wide ones. There's 45 in a pack. I think they were $3, $2 or $3 and some change. They're really wide, really tall. You could do this also with paint sticks or even buy a fence or whatever you wanted to do as well, but these are really quick and easy. So on this one, I went ahead and I cut the top of them with my cutter here. They come rounded on both sides like this. And I just took my handy dandy little cutter and just took a little bit off the top. It cuts pretty easily because I want this one to look like an old picket fence. You know, it's fall, it's rustic. I thought a picket fence would be cute. So I did that. So now we need a couple for the back to hold the fence together on the back side. So I'm going to just real briefly stain these first, because once I glue onto them, I'm not going to be able to get in between the slats, because I'm actually going to leave space between them rather than have them abutting each other like in the past. I'm actually going to have them be spaced. So, and I'm putting it on kind of thin and sparse. Hey Lisa, would you hand me that red cup of water up there? That's why it's great when we work together, because I have an assistant. I'm just going to move this way a little. I'm trying to get out of the glare in my glasses. Y'all, my allergies are going crazy today, so you're going to be stuck seeing me in glasses all day. The red one. In your hand, that one.
It's got juice in it?
No, it's got paint, water. It's water.
Oh. It's like, it looks like orange juice.
Yeah. It does look like orange juice. So I'm just going to water this down a little bit because I don't want it to get too dark. And I love this Waverly antiquing wax because it's water soluble, so it actually comes off with water, unlike if you've ever used regular stain. It gets all over your hands and everything and doesn't come off. So so I like this a little bit better. Plus it's not so dark if you want to do something just a little bit. You can add water to it and it'll thin it out. See, look at how light I can make it or how dark I can make it. You see that? So big difference. So you can kind of achieve any look you want. And I'm actually going to go back, I'm going to do this brown, but then I'm going to go back and kind of whitewash it. Because I want this one to look different than the other one, I want to show you options, just so you guys know that you can always make this your own. So, okay. So let's start with that. So now, I am going to start gluing sticks onto this. There we go. And this is just basically my backer. I'm actually going to kind of start in the middle here. And I am going to kind of use this line on my table as the bottom. Now keep in mind this is an old picket fence, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Old picket fences never are. And then I'm using a skewer, a shish kebab skewer, just to kind of give me some spacing for my next one. This is, will hopefully go nice and quick. And again, these do not have to be perfect. In fact, the more imperfect it is, the better I think it is. At least personally. Because you know how fall stuff is. There's scarecrows and rusty wagons and wheelbarrows and all that fun and crazy stuff. Another spacer. not going to see that much of the fence once we're done. It all gets covered up anyway, so not really a big deal. I'm not sure if I'm going to need some more of a stick on the bottom or not. We'll see when we get to that point. I guess I probably will in hindsight, so I'm just going to cut this one in half. And I'm going to join it to this other one. There we go. Nobody will know. I hope. Maybe they will, but that's okay too. And same thing with underneath here. There we go. I should have did that in the first place. I couldn't quite remember the other one. The sample one I made has been a while ago, so I couldn't exactly remember what I did on the back or how I did it. You could put a pencil between here. You can have them on top of each other if you want. I think somewhere between 11 and 13 of these. But you can make it obviously as big or as small as you want. And I didn't even measure the points, I just kind of did whatever. Because like I said, I don't want them perfect. Go. A couple more on this side. So, is anybody thinking fall yet? It's almost August now here in Wisconsin. It's a hot day out. Yesterday actually felt like a fall day. Yesterday was beautiful. It was only in the 70s and it was breezy. It was beautiful. But now it's hot again today. So you just never know. I find it's always easier to have something on the bottom to line it up with. You can do that or you can not do that. It's not necessary. So I've got 10 on here right now. I think I will leave that and see if that works. Lisa's losing her marbles over there. She's working on a marble craft and they're bouncing around.
Sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you. Losing her marbles. So I am going to just trying to think how I want to do this because I want to, you know what, I'm going to wait and put this on later because I want to be able to stain this. So I'm going to go back to this water-based stain. This is just a cup of paint water. It looks a little orange because I dipped my brush in there from painting pumpkins. So this goes really super fast, guys. Especially if you put it together first. When I first did this, when I first started doing these, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like staining them all separately first and then gluing it together. Duh! Look at how much faster this is. Ooh, sometimes I wonder about myself. I don't know. Worry about myself sometimes. But then you figure the quick way to do it and voila. There we go. Now depending, once we put the bottom on this, you can decide if this is going to go on a wall or if you want this to sit on a table or a shelf or something like that. I like to put a little something under the pumpkins so it looks like they're sitting on something and not just floating in outer space. But that's up to you. I actually think I want to, I might try putting a bale of hay or something on this one. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Ta-da! And I'll either trim this one off or I may be adding on to it, so we'll see. Okay, so now I am going to whitewash this a little bit because I don't want it to look like the other one. I want it to look like an old weathered white picket fence. So let's find our white. Okay guys, so next I am going to take a little bit of this white. You can use acrylic paint, you can use chalk paint, whatever you have at home. You can paint the thing white if you want and then just go back and dry brush it with a little brown or gray too. You know, make it your own. And my way is not always necessarily the right way. My way is just that, it's my way. But here, it's not my way or the highway. It's whatever tickles your fancy. I won't be mad, I promise. And if anybody makes anything like this, please show me. Share, I want to see it. I want to see how yours turns out. Maybe you even have a better idea than I do. My feelings won't be hurt. And if you ever have a craft that you want me to try to make, or Lisa to try to make, gosh, we're always looking for ideas. We welcome any ideas from you. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more on. Just a little bit more white in there. And this is my tried and true old funky brush that I always talk about that I like to keep because it's kind of messed up, and that's what I like about it. The bristles are all gnarly and gives me that great kind of whitewashed look. That I like to go for. Doody-doody-doo. I like to sing while I craft. Ooh, that one got a little bit light. That one went a little rogue on me. Don't be going cray-cray. I might have to go back and darken that one a little bit. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Okay, I might go back and darken that one a little bit. That one went definitely weird. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little bit, just a little bit of gray through because y'all know how wood looks when it's weathered. And this is, I believe it's mineral, Waverly chalk paint. Color is mineral, yes. Not to be confused with elephant. Not sure if you saw that video, but hilarious. Too bad I can't even read with my glasses on. That's not good. I think I need to break down and go get some real prescription glasses now. Okay. No fuss, no muss. Not gonna spend too much time on it. So let's get that out of our way. So, okay, so this is how it looks now, kind of weathered. Okay, just want it to look like an old fence, rickety fence in somebody's backyard or farm or whatever the case is. Okay, so next, I got these wood slices from Hobby Lobby, and I got an assorted bag, which means they came in different sizes and shapes. The last one I made was great because they had some ovals and some real funky shapes in there, which are great for pumpkins. But of course I used all the cool shapes on that one, so now I kind of just am stuck with round ones. But I did buy another bag of nice round ones because I want to make some snowmen out of these at some point too. So, in an effort to save time, I went ahead and painted these different shades of oranges, some like terracotta, some kind of a lighter orange, some more of a reddish orange, because I didn't want to make you wait. And also, because they have this dark circle in the middle, it takes a couple coats. Now you may be able to find them, sometimes you can find them in the lighter colored wood, which is what I was hoping for, but this happened to be all they have. And you can still see the bark on the side, so that's really cool. So now we have assorted pumpkins, as you can see, like that. So, and we're just going to kind of decide where and how to place them. I did also get this bale of hay that I couldn't decide if I wanted to use or not. I don't think I'm going to though. I feel like it sticks out too far from the thing. If I can find a little bit smaller one, I'll do that. But for now, I'm not. And then I also have these, this bag of these sticks from the dollar store. It's just little pieces of a branch or whatever cut up for $1. You get the whole bag. So I might put 1 or 2 of these instead of pumpkin on top of one of those. So let's kind of start just layering our pumpkins here. I'm going to kind of go towards the bottom, but not all the way to the bottom, because at some point I'm going to put a little ledge here for the pumpkins to sit on. So let's kind of decide what I'm doing here. Lisa's watching me intently.
While I'm waiting for my glue to dry.
She's waiting for her glue to dry, guys. Okay, so I'm going to put this little log here. Seems like a good spot for it. I put the glue in the right spot. And then this guy is going to be sitting on this log. Seems a good spot for the little pumpkin. And this would be cute, guys. You could use this on your front door or wherever. And I do like to kind of layer them so they kind of look like they're sitting in a pumpkin patch. Just make sure they all kind of are at the bottom. If you want to detail these more, oh my gosh, knock yourself out. If you want to shadow them or whatever, you know, shade them, shadow them, whatever. I just wanted to keep it really rustic. I mean, it's just, that's why I didn't even go to the edge. I just kind of left that little bit of a trim around it because we all know what it is. And I just wanted it to stay really rustic. I don't know. I just thought that was part of the charm of it, and I didn't want to totally cover the slice of wood up. I wanted to kind of keep the integrity of the wood slices. And since I'm not doing jack-o'-lanterns or anything, it just seemed to make sense. There we go. And that and that and that. There and there and there. Glue oozed out a little bit. Okay. See how quick and easy this is, you guys? I mean, you're basically seeing most of this in real time other than just the painting of the pumpkins. And that's just because it took a couple coats. So that's where we're at right now with our pumpkins on there. I know, still a little boring, but we'll get there, don't worry. Okay, so now I think I can put my bottom piece on. I'm just gonna cut this a little bit longer than it needs to go because I'm gonna cut these 2 pieces so that they can match up. And again, like I said, you can definitely use paint sticks or, gosh, you can use anything. You can use a log or a branch along here, a piece of driftwood. The sky's the limit. And you don't even have to put it on a fence. If you just wanted to cluster some of these together and do like a little shelf sitter, even that would be really cute. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. There we go. Okay, so I have to just put a little bit of the paint on here. I'm actually going to cover it with moss and things, but if it's too light, you're going to see it. If it's a little bit of color, it's going to disappear. And that's what we wanted to do. Disappear. So again, just like before, this one's even quicker and easier because most of it's going to be covered up. Make sure you get the edge. Probably see more of the edge than anything else. There we go. Da da da. Okay, I think we're done with that for a minute. And then, oh, here it is. For a second there, I didn't know where my paint had gone. And then kind of same thing, a little bit of white. A little bit of hot glue stuck in there. There we go. I'm going to do a little bit on the underside, just like this. There we go. I'm not even going to bother with the gray or anything on here because nobody's going to see that. It's not that important. I am, however, going to just drag a little bit more white through here. Since I have it on the brush, there we go. Okay. Like I said, the beauty of this is it comes off with a damn tool, a damn rag. Okay. That's what I love about it. Yay, Waverly. Yay, Waverly. Okay, so now I want to glue this on. And I do know that it's not going to fit perfectly, like all the pumpkins are not going to touch this, and that is absolutely fine because I'm going to be putting moss underneath the pumpkins, which will give the illusion that it's sitting on this little handy dandy shelf. And just get it close to some of the bigger ones. Give it a minute to sit. There we go. And then while that's drying, we're going to come up here and we're going to put some leaves on the pumpkins. Now this one I'm doing a little bit more colorful with some green leaves, and you'll be able to compare the difference when they're done. One's a little more monochromatic and this one's going to be a little bit brighter and more colorful. So I just took some old, these are, I think they're like ivy leaves or grape leaves or something. I actually used the smaller ones of these when I did the cork grapes. And these are a few of the bigger ones that I have left. Look kind of like a pumpkin leaf to me. As long as it's kind of close, it doesn't have to be exact. There we go. And somewhere I have a little green curlicue for the vine. Oh, here it is. It's hiding right by my cutter, which has a spring that looks just like it. Oh, y'all. Okay, so I just took a green wire and wound it around the skewer, and this is what I ended up with. So see if I can nip it off. There we go. because every good pumpkin has a curlicue. It's the law. Gotta do it. There we go. I think this one, I'll have this one sticking up, and I am still gonna put a stem in it, not to worry. The stems are coming, just not yet. Not right at this very minute. Okay. All right, so that's done. So, moss. It's time for moss. Now I have this Spanish moss, and I have this moss, and then I also even bought this really green moss at the Dollartree. Just kind of comes out on a roll, and I could put on there, but I want, this is pretty flat. I want something a little messier and more organic, so I'm going to go with this very messy peat moss, which is why I keep it in a bag here. As you can see, it is messy. Messy, messy. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tear this. Ugh, that's the only thing bad about this. Messy, messy. Okay, so I am just going to kind of glue here so I can tuck it underneath my pumpkins, as you can see. See if I can do this so you can see. There we go. My handy dandy skewer. These things come in so handy. Okay. A little bit more over here. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of working top, bottom, that way while stuff up here is drying, I'm down here, and you know, while the fence was drying, I was working on the pumpkin, so I'm kind of jumping around a bit by design, giving things a few minutes to set and cure before I move on to other things. This stuff is really messy though. But it's the price we pay for the look. And I'm just gonna, I just want to make sure I get under this piece of wood right here, because I want it to look like it's sitting, like the little tree stump is sitting on the grass or moss or what have you. Okay. And I'm gonna let it be messy like this, because I love it when it's messy like this. That's part of the whole rustic look we're going for. Right? Right. It's you. Anyway, sorry to be silly. It gets lonely when you're sitting here talking to a screen though, so just saying. Alright, so let me make room and clean up my mossy mess here. Like I said, you could have added, you know, the thing just by making it a little bit bigger or whatever. If I had just a smaller one, it would have been perfect, but I feel like it's just a little too big, a little too chunky for what I'm trying to do. So as you can see in my previous one, I had this branch. This is just some bittersweet, silk bittersweet that I had, that I put around, and I thought it was cute, and then I put a few berries and a few fall leaves. And you can do it however you want, guys. Do it however you want. I'm going to do it a little different on this one. It's because I'm trying to show you options. So we have two options now. I made this banner with some leftover scrapbooking paper I had from a pumpkin craft that I did, which you might recognize. So we can do that. Hopefully you can see it. See? Or we can do it on one corner. Or I made this one out of burlap, out of a piece of burlap ribbon that says fall. And that's another option. Which actually will probably go on this side. like that. See? So I think because the fence is light, this might be hard to read, so I think I'm going to go with the banner. So let's get that on there. And I'm trying to decide if I want it to go up and come down or just go all the way across. It is hard to decide. Well, you know what? What I want to do is put a little bit of a tree here to put some little fall leaves on, kind of falling down. So maybe let's do that part first, and then we'll kind of see where the banner comes into play after that. And then I am also going to use these sticks. I literally just went outside and picked up sticks. So these are just from my tree line right next to my house. So I just kind of grabbed some. I wanted some with kind of some gnarly little branches here. So I'm just trying to decide which one will work. And these are also what I'm going to use for the stems of the pumpkins, which is why I was holding off on that. Can maybe do a couple of these. Let's see here. That might not be bad. Let's try this. Whoa. You always have to just get the ones that bend the way you want and shape the way you want. Even trying to decide if I like this one better. I think I'm going to put this one on first. And the reason I'm using this one is because I like all the little sticks that are sticking out, because it would make sense to have some fall leaves on it or leaves that have fallen off of it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put a little something on the back here. There we go. And I am actually gluing this down here away from the fence and away from the pumpkins to give it some depth, so it looks a little 3D, as you can see. See how that's coming forward a little bit? That's the goal. Okay, I'm just gonna a little bit more down here to reinforce it, because nobody will see that part anyway. Maybe I'll just stick this one in and be done with it. I'm overthinking it. Don't overthink your crafts, guys. I'm such a perfectionist and anal to a fault, which is never a good thing. And I'm guilty of overthinking things all the time, or trying to get things perfect. Sometimes I just have to let it go. Let it go, let it go. Okay, come on, hurry up and dry. Okay, so while that's doing that, I'm going to put some stems in my pumpkin. So I'm going to take some leftover piece of branches here, cut them up for my pumpkin stems. Sorry if this is a mess. Just going to kind of put it behind the leaf. We all know can't be a pumpkin without a stem. Or at least most. You know, some of them don't have them, but and the other ones have to be straight. They can be a little crooked, or in the case of this one, fall off altogether. Well, little did you think you had pumpkin stems in your yard, did you? Ha! Learn something new every day. Woohoo! If you had a little basket that looked like a bushel basket, you could tuck it in here. You could put things in it like apples. You could have a little wagon, coaster wagon or something here. There's so much you can do with this. So this is just my take on it and my idea, but goodness, if you want to take it to the next level, by all means, you can put a ghost on it, or a bird, or a black cat, or make them scary. You can make them jack-o'-lanterns if you want. Just one right here. And you can trim them down. They should be different heights and things, which I'll do later after they're dry. Hopefully. Come on, dry, dry, dry. Okay, so hopefully while those dry in place, I bought from Hobby Lobby a branch of fall leaves. And the reason I got these, I know everybody has fall leaves, and if you can find these somewhere else, yay. But the reason I got these is because they're so small. There's some really, really small ones on here. So I kind of went through, you can kind of see the difference between like this size and this size. And I wanted small ones because of the scale of the pumpkin. So that's why I got these. My original thought was to try to find the little bag of leaves from like Villages and sprinkle it, but nobody had, it's July, nobody had their Villages out yet. So this was my second option, and it's fine. It works just fine. But make sure you don't put ginormous leaves, full-size leaves on this little tree, because it's gonna look ridiculous. Kind of have to stay with the scale of the tree. I'm actually gonna put one more branch on this tree. I think. He needs something to hold him up. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's put some leaves on. So just cutting some of these down, taking the little plasticky part out so they look more authentic. And I want this to look like the tree's almost bare, that maybe there's a few last leaves clinging on, but basically that they're all kind of dropping off the tree at this point. So we'll leave a few on there. Maybe I'll put a bigger one on somewhere, but just literally just put a few, and don't glue them flat, let them kind of stick out a little bit if you can. There we go. I'm gonna let this one be down here like it fell or is falling. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's cute. It's cute. I don't like this one so much. Not sure if I glued it there, if he just went rogue on me. We're gonna re-glue this one. But it's looking adorable. It's adorbs. I think we'll just put maybe one one more little leaf. The leaves are getting a little bit bigger, so I don't want to put too many on, but maybe farther in. There we go. And I think maybe one more on the ground somewhere, because they would be dropping off this tree right here. So they would be falling down right below this tree. We're going to put one messy one over here too. I'm going to kind of let it go where it falls, because if it had fallen off the tree. And make sure you turn them in different directions, different angles. That's, you know, how leaves fall. Some are upside down, whatever. So that's where we're at so far. Almost done. Just have to put the banner on. Yay! Okay. Boy, this moss is making a mess. Maybe I should use the other kind. Too late. Okay, so let me see now. I have to decide. Maybe I will go back to this fall one. I think I might, just to keep it simple. So the way I made this, guys, I brought my burlap ribbon to show you. So I just took burlap ribbon, and I'll just show you on a smaller scale, but just in case you ever want to make something like this. I took it and I folded it in half and then in half again. I'm just going to do one with basically 2 banners. So I took it, I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half again. And then I cut my triangle up in my V. So that gave me my banner. See, that gives me the V for the banner. And then what I did, after I opened them all up, I just cut off the rest of the burlap. And that gave me the string for it. So I didn't have to actually cut out little V's and glue them all onto the string. I actually just cut it out of ribbon, and then, so this is actually the burlap ribbon on the top here. So I'm just going to glue this on. And I think we'll be ready to rock and roll here. Okay, just going to cut this off. Glue that on. And of course, you know, you can hang it however, you know, by twine, by a ribbon, whatever the case may be. So I'm not even going to waste your time showing you all of that. It takes too long. You get the idea. Just a piece of twine or jute or something is fine. Okay, just has to dry a little. There we go. But basically, I think for the most part it's done. I'm just going to take a little thing of berries here, a little snip of the berries that I got from the dollar store. Kind of glue them on the ground here, just for some visual interest and 3-dimension. They could be apples or whatever. And that's about it, guys. I think we're done. So I hope you like this. Clean off the table here so you can see it. I hope you like this. Cute, right? So just some simple little pumpkins and a fall tree. And let me make sure you can see the banner that says fall. Here you go. Can you see it? And that's about it. Like I said, do anything you want to it. You can have a bushel basket of apples. You can, let me show you it with my other one, and then you can compare and make this any way you want to make it. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. And go crazy. Super easy, super simple, super quick. Just make it your own. Thanks for watching, guys. Please be sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel. If you have comments or questions, please leave them. And most importantly, be sure to tune in next time to see which craft we're gonna make next. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.